Welcome Toyota Tacoma owners and other camping enthusiasts who like to sleep in their trucks. Here's another idea for you guys to how to set up your truck for sleeping two people in it, whether you have a topper or I have a tent that I'm going to purchase, or that I did purchase, and I'm going to get that installed later. I'm going to camp tonight. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I did my platform. Welcome back, friends, to the channel. Glad you could join me today. Got an exciting project going on. As most of you probably know, I did get a new truck. I got a 2018 Toyota Tacoma. It's going to be a pretty sweet little truck. I love it so far. Been doing some researching on doing some different way I could go and camp in my truck. I found a tent. This should be here tomorrow. Hopefully Amazon is on schedule and they get it delivered. Don't know when I'm going to use it though, but I wanted to start getting this other build done. What I got going on today is I want to build a platform. There's a little rail that goes around the side of the bed about this high. Well, I have a sled that I use for ice fishing that I could slide underneath here, and this way I could lift up, be up off that platform, get some under storage. I could roll my top back, and this tent should be able to go straight over top here from the different YouTube videos I've seen. So what we got going on today, we're doing a lot of measuring. We're going to get the boards all put together, and I have to go down to Worth Lumber to go get a sheet of plywood. I'm going to have to also then build a little extension because my bed in my truck is only 5 foot 1 inches. I am 5 foot 10, so therefore a little bit long. With the platform, yeah, I could go and probably sleep like that, but my feet are going to be hanging over the edge about this much. So therefore, I'm just going to build like a little platform that I'll be able to go and put my feet on so they're not dangling like you would when you're dangling your feet over your bed when you move around in the middle of the night. So with that, onward with our project. When using power tools, safety tip, always be sure to wear your safety glasses, because these saws are notorious for kicking up sawdust and splinters and stuff, and you don't want them in your eye. Okay, we got the front board up there that's going to act as one of the supports for the middle of the sheet of plywood up front. Now I need one that's going to go right down through the middle of the plywood, through the bed. This is that sled I was talking about earlier. It's going to fit here just absolutely perfect. Right below, lower than the side rails, lower than the wheel wells. So inside that tub, my plan is I'm going to put some firewood in there. So therefore, it'll be an easy way to pull it in and out. It'll be able to contain the mess inside that sled. And I still have room for storage of some stuff right up through here in front of the sled, or behind it, whichever you want to call it. And I got all this storage along here for more gear. So then now, once I get that screwed in up front there, now I just need to go to the lumberyard and get my plywood. Still got to go and figure out, am I going to need to put any type of support along here? Because like I said, the bed of the truck is on top of that rail is a little bit wider than 4 foot. So I got to figure out, how am I going to fasten the little strip of 1x material to the plywood. Then we'll go and cover that with what's called trunk carpet. So therefore there'll be no slivers, and we won't have to worry about puncturing any air mattresses we'll put back here. Probably could have got by with only 3 of them in there, but I figured might as well beef it up just a little bit, so that way the end of this, when it gets flipped back around, put where it belongs, the end that's closest to the tailgate won't flop you around a little bit, but you'll be attached down to the plywood once you get that on there. But we're getting closer. About ready for plywood. I'm thinking that's what I need to get right away when I get done with work tomorrow. And we'll get that sized and cut down to what we need it to fit in here. Perfect. Figured we'll make it so that way it's gonna be easy able to take it apart for in case I don't need to put in there. We'll just store it in the garage or my shed. But yep, I think we're needing the plywood next. And then we have to figure out that side of the what are we gonna do with that little gap along the side of the plywood since it's not wide enough. If we're gonna need a leg of some sort right in front there. And then we need to figure out the little bit of extension that's going to go over top the tailgate for when we have the air mattresses and stuff blown up and ready to sleep. Okay, we just got back from the lumberyard. We had this piece of plywood ripped down to 31.5 inches wide and 5 foot on the button for length. Now we need to go and work on cutting out this little corner here. So that way this will fit onto that rail like we'd planned for it to sit on. Then make this corner back here obviously a lot more solid and such. Then we'll go to this other side and work on the remaining strip. But that one's going to take a little bit because obviously the bed is like 4 foot 9 inches wide. And as y'all know, sheet of plywood is only 4 foot. So we need to add an extension onto the side of that, which I do have a piece of 1x material. And we'll go and try to figure that out when we get to that point. Okay, we got our pattern made for this cutting out this corner. So I'm just going to use a jigsaw and make that cut. Alright, let's go see how this fits. Oh yeah, that's going to be perfect. That's pretty solid. Nice. Okay, now that we got that piece in place where we need it to be, now I'm going to set 2 screws just to hold that in place so this doesn't move around. Then I get a measurement from the edge of here, a little bit of space in between it for the pieces of the trunk carpet that's going to wrap around these pieces, and get a measurement over to there. Then I got to figure out how am I going to build that piece of plywood out wider, which should be not a problem if it goes right on how I hope it plans to be. Alright, I added the other part of the sheet of plywood when we ripped it down to 5 foot. But obviously here's our difference that we need to fill in. So, just gotta find our measurement. Looks like 8 3/4, a little bit over. That should work. Okay, I got the second piece slid in there. It actually fit in pretty dang nice. Sits on the rail perfect. The seam is going to work out pretty good in the middle. It's going to be a little bit of space yet because there's, of course, the trunk carpet. It's going to space out a little bit. One thing with this seam, and we had to put a board underneath there to hold the splice together, is it's pretty flexible. So we had to go and add a support leg underneath over there, and then also we're going to have another one right up there. That will help support the weight of the person that's sleeping on this side. Just like that. Hopefully I won't have to put one in the middle, because that might get in the way. Might be able to get tucked up close to that wheel well, so it might be out of the way. So for putting gear underneath here and such. There we go. Got the platform built. Now we just gotta wait for the trunk carpet and the spray glue to come. Just got that ordered today. Wish we didn't have to have that goofy board there, but the only other way to get around that was to buy another sheet of plywood to rip down for just that small little chunk, and that would cost a little bit considering the price of plywood. But overall, it looks pretty good so far. Now we just got to build the extension. Like, we'll go over top the tailgate to make the bed a little bit longer, so we will be able to sleep on it. Alright, now that we got the platform all done, everything's supported underneath for our weight. Now we need to build these extensions to make this out to 5'10". So we already got this side cut. The reason why I do this in halves instead of one solid piece is if I'm by myself, I might just take this out. So therefore, I might go and be able to set up it inside here, sit in there, and go and cook some food or whatever. I'll just take this platform out entirely, and then I'll still be able to sleep on this side. So right now we're in the process of finding the spacing for the hinges, and then we'll have to build some legs to support this. All right, as with all projects that you have no blueprints by any means, and you're just scrapping it all together, came upon a snag. I got the hinges on, and I took out my little support leg that helps hold everything up, and I went to go hinge it down, but this piece is too long, so I can't hinge it all the way down. It still sticks over top the tailgate a little bit. So I lifted the bed up and just went to see, okay, am I still even able to close the tailgate? No, I can't close the tailgate because this little bit extra thickness of wood goes and makes it too wide or too long to fit the bed. So the next option would be is to cut this board a little shorter, which I really don't want to do, and cut off the end of this, the decking, to go and make so when I hinge this down it would fit. Don't really want to do that either because once again it makes my overall length short. So I put these are on for, of course, the legs, which obviously we'll flip this over. But what I'm thinking about doing is we'll get a piece of flat metal, we'll get that screwed onto the extension piece, get the legs put on, and therefore it'd be just the weight holding that into place. If I have to, I could get another piece of this metal and put it underneath there, so that way we'll slide it in onto this the platform to hold it into place. So just got to drill some holes into here, and we'll see how it is with just one metal piece. All right, we got all the parts done, so now we got to go and put the trunk carpet onto it. So they want you to go and spray a coat of glue on both the carpet and the board and leave it sit for a minute, and then go in and adhere it. It's supposed to help out a lot better. All right, that's long enough. Okay, now same thing as before, but we're going to wrap the edges so it curls around the back side. Already got the glue sprayed on, so it's pretty much just the same as before. Just go and pull it nice and tight to get nice crisp edges. It's a little tight right there, but it'll still work. And we'll continue around the whole entire outside of all the pieces. Alright, I got the boards all reinstalled back into the back end of the truck. Got the little extensions on. Now it's time for the legs. So I got what I'm going to do. I got pieces of PVC pipe, 4 of them obviously, 2 for each of the little sub panels. Remember the pipe flange? Those are already screwed onto there. So right now I got these little rubber stops, which will be for the bottom of the legs so it doesn't scratch my tailgate. And we got these threaded couplers of some sort. What that'll do then, we'll screw that into that pipe flange, so therefore we'll be able to raise and lower that to adjust it so it makes sure it's level and we don't have any wobble. And it'll definitely make that lot sturdy. So we just gotta get the pipe cleaner and the cement and get them all put together. And then we're pretty much done. Then it's time to get the air pad out and do a little test run. Okay, I already have the other 2 or 3 legs in, my bad. So basically all you do is just screw that in. And you get her in enough so both of them are nice and level. Just be nice and solid. There we go. Pretty much she's all set. Now it's time to get the air pad out and give it a try. There we go. There's one air pad in there. Another one of the same kind. It'll be nice and tight and a little snug, but it'll be fine. It overhangs just a little bit, which is no big deal. And yeah, fits perfect. So if I want to go by myself, I can just take this platform out. And then I got room to sit in there with my feet in that area here. So the only thing I got left to do is with the tent, these edges are going to be really sharp. And therefore, obviously, I don't want to risk the tent getting ripped. So I have some material, some Reflectix material. I'm going to go and make like a little cover. I could tuck it up underneath there to hold it down in and wrap it around there to go and protect it. Obviously, I'll have my shoes off. The feet thing will be the only concern. It's in there tight. Not really tight, I should say. I can move my feet. I can't lay my feet, obviously, on top of each other. And I don't know, with a sleeping bag, this should still work. I'm just going to get used to it. So I guess we shall see. Okay, wrapping it up. Remember those sharp edges on the cover? Oh, made. Just going to sit on top of there and protect the covers, corners. Nothing fancy, just something to take the sharpness off. All right, people, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm wide awake. I've been in bed since 8 because it gets so dark in the morning. But as I was talking about earlier, the spacing underneath here sucks. You can't move your legs at all. You get cramped up by trying to move your feet around and stuff in there. So what I could do to fix that part, probably I'd unfortunately take that out. Definitely would gain your foot space. But then you'd probably go and flip around and have your head at this end, which you'll find out why here real quick. And that would be because your head is really close to the tent. I noticed it's kept on sagging a little more as the night went on. As condensation grew, now it's frosted over. So yeah, I think that'd be best to have your feet at that end as the way to design the tent. The other issue I've just came across also is if I did have my second platform in here, it's going to be a pain in the butt to get to the zipper, which is way down in that corner. I don't know if you can see it that well or not, but there we go, a little more light. Yeah, with the zipper like being in the corner over there, how the hell are you going to get to that thing? It's going to be a little tricky getting to it. So this setup this tent thing with the Tacoma might be for a one-person gig. I don't know. The design was pretty cool. The idea was pretty cool of building a platform to make it so you could sleep 2 people in here. No idea. Any other Tacoma owners that own this tent? How do you sleep 2 people in it? Let me know. Comment down below. But with that, I'm going to close out this video of the platform review. If you have any ideas, suggestions, like I said, feel free to comment below. subscribe, hit the bell notification. Hopefully hear more from you and you see all my other videos. Thanks for watching.